I am a psychologist. I have, with facts, logic, and reasoning, got you to click on this video, and I am going to keep you engaged in this video by telling you that you are going to learn something very, very interesting in this video if you stay through to the end.
For a bearded dwarf of Casmodan.
I like trains.
Ow, Charlie! Ah!
Hey, Apple! What?
You've told me this is a YouTube deep dive, and I don't know how reverse psychology makes any sense at all.
Well, it will take a while to get there. Basically, I saw a YouTuber who is a goat in the scene do a video on reverse psychology. It came up in my recommended, and I think, to be honest, the title and thumb was very similar to ours. So we may be a little yoink and twisting their content, but the twist is we're learning about them, which I think is a good twist. The YouTuber is called Hank Green, which I think
I know Hank Green.
Yeah.
Okay, so I worked at Patreon, and Hank Green was a big Patreon man. And then he also does VidCon, is that true?
Yes, he did VidCon with his brother, who you will also know through...
Which one is a TikToker?
Hank is the TikToker.
Oh, I like Hank. The other one, couldn't give a shit. I like Hank because he does funny TikToks.
So, what I don't think you'll know is the old, the OG Hank Green and John Green.
Oh yeah, I don't think I do.
The Vlogbrothers. Are you aware of the Vlogbrothers?
So in the back of my brain, I am thinking that the Vlogbrothers tried to copyright React or something. So they were like the original React Andes.
No, that's the Fine Brothers. You're very close.
Oh, who's the Vlogbrothers then? My bad. I want to learn about the Fine Brothers.
They're Hank and John. They
are the React brothers. Wait, what are they called again?
No. So the Fine Brothers are the React people that did.
Oh, the Vlogbrothers. Sorry, that was their name.
The
are
Hank and John.
Brothers. Got it.
There we go. Oh my God, is that 15 years ago? I didn't realize it was that long ago. Holy shit. Yeah, both of them are authors. It's just John Green did Fault in Our Stars, and the other one that was also made into a movie, he like fucking went into the major mainstream. I think the premise was they wanted to send like a video diary almost of each other daily. Which is kind of how YouTube started out. If you know, the first ever YouTube video is the guy who
Piano Cat
made YouTube.
Piano Cat.
I forgot. Believe me.
Yeah. Is it Jawed? Me at the zoo?
Alright, so here we are, one of the elephants.
Yes, yeah, that's one.
Cool thing
That is the first
guys
ever video on YouTube.
Really
And
long
I think this guy is the creator of YouTube and like the old CEO and stuff.
Oh, really?
Check the description.
Steve Giordano.
I think they envisioned it as like, if I wanted to send a friend who I don't see very often, or like across the world, a video of me, like, I don't know, opening a parcel that they sent me, I could then put it on YouTube and then send them that link. That was how they envisioned YouTube being. Obviously, it has developed and evolved so much since then, but the premise was to connect people from around the world, which it has done, but in a completely different way than how they imagined at first.
Right.
So that's what the Vlogbrothers were doing. They were brothers who were living in different parts of the country and couldn't see each other every day, but missed their interactions with each other. So they would do like a diary entry, basically, to each other, talking about cool things, talking about their life, and try to make it as interesting as possible, because they didn't have to just like sit in front of a camera. They could take the camera somewhere else and make it interesting. So they were vlogging like before vlogging was even a thing.
Right. And wow, what an intimate thing. Right? It's like,
yeah.
They're just talking to their brother. Also, it's insane. They figured out the YouTube thumbnail game eventually. Giraffes fucking and then Helen Hunt. Before it was just like pictures of their face. And then they're like, oh no, a gun.
Hi, John. It's Monday, April 23rd. Here we are at the Westview Fun Game Place. That's not it. What's it called? best way
The
to
fun
find
game
Santa.
plays. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy talks like I stream. We're here with the stinky man who's gonna play the game.
Well, when a pickup is fair, it feels even better than writing a good paragraph. And I know, John, you know what that's like.
That was acclaimed naturalist and award-winning nature writer Robert Michael Pyle. RMP, or Bob, or Rob Bob, as we call him, was a visiting professor at my university a couple years ago, and I took a class from him. He's an all-around super-duper guy and is tons of fun to bowl with.
It's crazy seeing like jump cuts in early YouTube as well. To me, I thought like these kinds of jump cuts were a meta that developed, but man, this video would not be weird today with just like better quality.
True. Yeah. No, the meta back then was jump cuts, but like to the extreme. So you would never say something and stay in the same place. You would
Yeah, like
say
literally
a
his
phrase.
head jumps around the frame. Like
You'd stay on left-hand side of the frame, say a phrase, and then the next phrase, you'd be on the right-hand side of the frame and say a phrase. Or you'd be like in the background and say a phrase. Like,
That's
on
so funny. Yeah, or
purpose.
zoomed in and stuff. This is
Yeah,
wild. Yeah.
Another reason that I really like both of them, but specifically Hank Green, is he is basically just doing exactly what he's doing there, but on TikTok.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
as you said,
truly,
you've seen
yeah.
his TikToks. He does the same thing.
Yeah, he'll be like, oh, this is a crazy video. Actually, here's the real answer. And then, cuts to the other side. This is what's going on. It's really cool. I think he does a really good TikTok.
So yeah, they did the Vlogbrothers. They then also split off and did their own things and kept the Vlogbrothers going. One of the
So they
things,
both had
as
their
you
own
know,
YouTube channels.
Yes, they started loads of different things. Basically, they realized that they had a proficiency of being able to explain scientific things really well. So a lot of them like went off in different directions. Hank did a lot of science-related educational content on, I think, either channels that he owns or that channels he just featured on as the like spokesperson. But they've made so many different things. Crash Course, SciShow is another one that Hank's done, and that's one of the videos we're going to be watching today. But yeah, you were mentioning, you already knew this one. They started VidCon, which is ended up being a little bit cringe, but it started out amazing. Like
Did
two
VidCon
creators who
end
started
up
out on YouTube.
Being cringe? Is that true?
It got bought by Viacom, I think,
Oh.
and they just made it very cringe. It wasn't really to
Okay.
do with them.
I
was
went to
more that they
one
sold out.
VidCon as a businessman when I worked at Patreon or somewhere, and I was like, hey, I just want to meet some creators and figure it out. Try and get MatPat on the fucking platform. Never happened. And it was an eye-opening thing for me, seeing thousands of teens just vlogging and going like, ooh, all of these are going to have like a collective 3 views. You know what I mean? Like outside of VidCon, everyone had their GoPro on a stick and I'm at VidCon, I'm doing my thing. And you like walking through them. I think I might be in thousands of videos just walking in the background.
There's one TikTok, we were talking about Hank Green's TikTok. There's one TikTok that I want to get your opinion on. I'm going to put it in chat.
Like a seemingly very innocuous question. Is ice a rock? And it is! Geologists say it is! And so then someone else asked me a question that I knew the answer was going to be no to. Well, if ice is a rock, then is water lava? And I was like, no, there's no way this is going to be. I looked it up and I'm reading about it and it's like, it kind of is! Lava is any molten rock that comes out of a terrestrial planet. Now, molten means liquefied by heat. This is... I don't know what to believe anymore. Ice is a rock, water is lava, and you are a lava monster. I guess. So somebody asked
This
me,
is so funny.
like-
It's almost similar to the Scottish tweets we watched, which are just like very Seinfeldian of like, this is crazy. What's the deal with lava? I found out that lava is ice. What do you mean, Jerry? But it works for him. It's maybe not for me as much as for other people, but it's good.
Yeah, it works in TikTok. I feel like in my head, when we were watching the previous Hank Green video on Vlogbrothers, it was like, yeah, he's just the same now. And then I watched this back, and I'm like, no, he's not the same. He's insane now.
Yeah,
the amount of like,
way more animated. Yeah, like just
so much more
whoa.
energetic. And it kind of is. It kind of is. So good. It's very easy for a creator like Hank Green to just make up some random thing and be like, yeah, this is true. But he's like actually telling us relative like information on things.
It's insane that he's Hank Green 1 on TikTok, by the way, with 6.4 million
actually
followers.
very true,
TikTok,
yeah.
step up.
Hank Green's like pivoted himself to be the voice of all scientific reason on TikTok, which is so sick. Like, if people have a question, they'll do a TikTok where they're like, "Oh my god, I don't understand why this is happening, please," and they'll everyone in the comments will like at Hank Green, and then he actually helps people. And gives them like answers to scientific questions and stuff. He's just really sick. He did a video, I think a couple of years ago now, about reverse psychology.
We're bringing it back to where we started. Why people click this video in the first place?
It's just a video on reverse psychology and why it's great. And this is, in my opinion, why Hank Green is great. Because he's just a walking, talking beacon of knowledge that is family friendly and just very nice in general, in my opinion.
Do you think he's like a serial killer? He'd be the perfect person, wouldn't he?
He would,
because
be the
you
perfect
wouldn't even
person,
think
no,
he
you're
has
right,
enough time. Not only is he a nice guy who provides this value for like the community, but it would be a perfect front for going out and absolutely murdering, you know, men, women, children, animals.
No one would suspect it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If he's not, he should be.
I'm in full agreement. He should be, yeah.
I
He's
mean,
the
if
one
anyone
that's
could
thinking
get away with
with
it, I think that's him. Yeah, of course. Could you imagine Hank Green starts doing like a series of TikToks about like decomposing bodies and like, well, this is how you would drain the blood out of one, and it gets a little bit weirder and weirder over time.
Yeah, he does one on like the scene in Breaking Bad where the acid goes through the bath, and he's like, "Here's how to dissolve a body without the acid breaking through the bath."
Exactly, we're on the same page.
Yeah. Sounds really fucking loves Blippi. Just like every second is mentioned.
It's funny.
Have you heard of this YouTuber called Blippi?
It's the only YouTuber I know, dude. It's like Ludwig and Blippi. So if I have to use a joke about a YouTuber, chances are it's going to be Blippi. It can't be PewDiePie anymore. Maybe it'll be Hank Green after this, but we'll get there.
That's not the only YouTuber you watch.
What's another YouTuber I watch?
Mr. A-Game.
Oh, Mr. A-Game. He's like Blippi, but for video games. Mr. A-Game's theme song. Mr. A-Game's here. It's just Jurassic Park, by the way, which should be illegal.
What?
It should be, yeah. Mr. A-Game. And the kid would sing it, and then we'd watch an hour and a half of Breath of the Wild, Blood Moon. I got to get all those kobolds. It's crazy. It's a crazy time.
It literally is.
I'm going to play it for you right now. I'm going to play it for you right now.
Mr. A-Game,
It's just Jurassic Park. I told you. It's not like they changed it at all. That is just Jurassic Park.
Just singing over it. Yeah. It's not like it's the melody. It is just him singing over it.
Which is why it's so fucking catchy for kids. Like, Jurassic Park is a masterpiece in music and cinema. And so he just yoinked it. From now on, I'm starting every stream with My Heart Will Go On. Stanz is here. I hope you all enjoy, 'cause it's YouTube for you. And then we'll just go to the video. It'll be good. Do you think there's like a period where they get fed up and they go, well, now I'm not going to finish the video?
It was about 5 minutes ago.
Hey, you know those chores that you probably have to do? Dishes, laundry, vacuuming?
Okay, first question, I will pause 3 seconds in.
Sure,
is SciShow for kids or adults? Or both?
It's a grey area, yeah. It's a both thing. It's if you want to learn about this interesting thing, you can do. But obviously, like the younger you learn about cool things, the easier it will go in. The more you remember it. Wait, I'm just imagining them shitting their pants and being like, "I don't want you to clean that up, mummy."
Yeah. How embarrassing for you, wiping my ass. That would be so lame and cringe.
It would be cringe if you didn't clean me up, Dad.
It might seem like something that only works in cartoons, like a big red button that says, "Do not push." But researchers have studied reverse psychology, and it does seem to have an effect on real people in certain situations. This idea was first proposed in 1966 in a paper on psychological reactance theory that synthesized a lot of thoughts and research about this internal process. The author suggested that when we're given instructions to do a particular thing, we feel our freedom of choice becoming restricted. For example, on your own, you can choose to do whatever you want. Watch a movie, go to the park, eat a corn dog. But when you're told to do something specific, your freedom to choose other things feels like it's more limited.
You want to hear a funny story about like freedom to choose in kids that I'll remember until the day I die?
Yes, I've never watched
I was
anything more.
probably about 5 to 7 years old, around the age of you think kids are going to be watching this episode. And I was at let's call it McDonald's or Arby's. Insert random fast food restaurant with my dad. And so we walk in, and I get a kid's meal, and he gets a Big Mac, whatever. And the person at the counter goes, "Will that be for here or to go?" And he looks at me and goes, "Hey, for here or to go?" And I say, "For here." And then he looks at the person at the counter and says, "To go." And the person at the counter is extremely confused. Goes, "Oh, but the kid said for here." And he goes, "Yeah, but that's a kid." And then we get it to go and go home. He goes, "You can't let kids make decisions for you." I don't know why he asked
Did
me.
he say that to the...
Yeah, to the cashier.
worker?
The cashier, he goes, "Yeah, but that's a child." Yeah.
So he's teaching you and the worker a lesson at the same time.
At a certain
He was
point, I
like,
went,
"Excuse me, you
"Touche."
take orders from a child?
He was hoping I'd say "to go." You know what I mean?
Wrong answer. Sorry.
Yeah, he wanted to give me the chance, but if I made the wrong decision, it wasn't happening. So that's what makes me laugh, thinking about like reverse psychology and letting kids choose things and things like that.
For example, when the U.S. drinking age was legally raised to 21 in the 1980s, psychologists noted...
Sorry, my dog's going up. My dog is very unhappy about the drinking age being raised to 21. She says, "This is fucking bullshit, dude."
One survey looked at 3,375 college students during the academic year between 1987 and 1988, and they found that 81% of students who were younger than 21 drank versus 75% of students who were 21 and over. Underage students also reportedly drank more heavily. 24% were considered more likely to make risky decisions or to be heavy drinkers. Basically, having a lot of drinks fairly often. Only 15% of legal drinkers were in this category. You wouldn't expect such a drastic difference.
That part would be where most of the 5-year-olds would probably click off.
Yeah. They'd be like, "Oh, this is so interesting."
Thrown off by all the statistics and
yeah.
they were
I
like,
was with you until the numbers, bud.
The researchers suggest that this trend was partially because students were reacting to limited freedom, to reestablish a sense that they could choose whether to drink or not. Another survey looked at
Kance, are you the kind of person that doesn't like being told what to do? I think that's what they're saying is that everyone is a little bit reactant. Where do you fall on the reactant line?
I don't think I'm the best person to ask, because the dynamic of like parents telling you to do a thing and you rebelling was never really an issue for me. My parents were always just like, "Yeah, you can do whatever, just be reasonable and don't kill yourself and you'll be fine."
Thought I paused the video for this. I'll pick up the slack here. Fuck that. Don't tell me what to do. I hate it. I hate being told what to do. Even the most reasonable things. I think I am very reactionary on the scale, and I wish I wasn't, because it'll be the most reasonable things in the world. You know, like I'm going to do the dishes, and Rochelle will be like, "Hey, can you please do the dishes?" And I'll go, "Oh, I'm seething. I'm literally seething right now. I'll go make the bed instead. I fucking hate doing the dishes." When I was going to do the dishes, and I don't mind doing the dishes. It's
okay,
psychopathic.
I'm on board with that. I am exactly the same with that. Like, if someone tells me to do something and it's like a chore, then I will actively, like, even like exactly the same thing. If I'm going to do it, I will not do it because someone's told me. I'm 100% the same.
I wonder if there's like a correlation between level of reactance and like political affiliation, right? Obviously, they're talking about
exactly the same thing. Like, shit. As soon as he mentioned like medication and stuff, I was thinking like anti-maskers and anti-vax and shit.
Yeah, which all seem to be like on one side. Maybe it's a psychological thing, right? Maybe they feel like they have to be that way because they feel like their freedoms are being limited and there's nothing they can do. They are rebelling. They are the alt-right Rage Against the Machine.
Which is crazy, because I feel like both of us, after just saying, "Yeah, I wouldn't do the washing up because someone told me to, fuck yeah," would also, we should wear masks and get vaccinated.
Unless they were a doctor or other trained professional who I respect.
Yeah, there's lines to the reactions. I feel like we wouldn't lie in the category of, if my doctor tells me to take medication, I wouldn't take it. I think that's another level. That's a bit insane.
Yeah, it goes further. And then there's even further still of people who just don't listen to any laws, like Hank Green, who murders people on his free time.
Motivational enhancement therapy emphasizes patients' freedom of choice, and these kinds of therapies are often used to treat cases of drug abuse or alcoholism, rather than a therapist pushing a particular choice, like, "Stop taking all those drugs, dude." The therapist and the patient work through the pros and cons of each approach to the issue. This way, the patient hopefully feels less limited and reactance is less likely. ideally, they're more likely to carefully weigh all of the strategies and choose to take step towards recovery. We all have heard about
Holy
this.
shit,
You have
Stanz,
to make...
this is you. This
Say-
is
Speak to that?
so.
I go to rehab one time. Jesus Christ, man.
No, this is backseaters. Instead of saying this is what you do,
Oh,
you
of course,
pose it as a question.
Yeah, it's so simple, and it's the same thing in every aspect of life, right? One thing that, you know what, let's do some good in the world. A lot of women have had problems in the workplace because a lot of men in these positions of power have been cringe for a long time. And so instead of saying, and this is a problem that Rochelle struggles with because she's very forward, aggressive, and doing the right thing, they will say, like, I disagree with that plan. We should do this plan. Whereas for years and years, they've had to go, well, I'm not sure, big businessman. I think, what about this? And so, like, there's ways to get around it, but unfortunately, they can be based in these systems that are very frustrating. So yes, chatters who have to go out and be like, well, I don't know, streamer. I was thinking maybe you could try this thing versus Omega lol, fucking idiot. It's just, you get it. You get it. Now that we've stumbled upon this video being about us, let's continue.
Make people think it was their idea. Reactance is just one of many factors that affects how likely someone is to take advice. It's not a surefire way to persuade anyone. But if you're feeling lucky with a stubborn nephew, who knows, maybe a little reverse psychology will do the trick. Thank you for watching this episode of SciShow Psych. If you enjoyed this video, definitely don't leave a comment and don't you dare subscribe.
Oh,
So
you,
true.
you
Don't
naughty
subscribe,
boy.
viewers.
Yeah.
Whatever you do not hit the subscribe button right now and make it go from red to gray. That would
I'm
be
scared
cringe.
because people are gonna comment and be like, I did it and I unsubscribed, and the joke is worth it more than the sub to them. I don't know if I can go scorched earth on this reverse psychology.
No, we're not saying to unsubscribe because that's cringe. We're saying if the button is red currently, whatever you do not click it. Do not click that
Got
red
it.
button. Literally, do not click the red button, guys. Come on.
Now, this is making a lot of sense.
So
Kent,
sissy.
thank you for this YouTube deep dive. This was great. I feel like we got to tell some funny stories. We got to learn a little something. And I feel slightly more educated about the YouTube past, including the first ever video I saw an elephant at the zoo, than I was going into this. Hey, you dumb fucking slime. You absolute goobers out there. No
We
brain
got
cells in
you.
your head.
We-
Yeah, all it took was a thumbnail, you fucking idiot. Please don't put this in the video.